it right, build wealth, build life, economic empowerment, real on the new Black Wall Street. Yeah, it's on the new Black Wall Street. It's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, thanks so much for tuning in. This is ERGJ, your certified financial educator and founder of the New Black Wall Street. I want to say thanks so much for tuning in this morning as we get ready to rock and roll on this terrific Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Now, the Money and Power Talk Show, that's just all what it's about. It is about money and power. That's right. We're going to be talking about today about two things I believe we need to talk more about in the Black community. That's going to be money and economics and policy, what I like to call cash flow, cash rules. At the end of the day, guys, you got in your life, whether it's stopped, it doesn't matter. You got a river that's flowing through your life, that's your money. River, it also has its bank, your economics, and then you also have your banks, which is your politics, which basically is your laws of the land, which rule the money and how it actually flows in your life. And so we're going to be talking about today, sharing some things with you guys about what has happened yesterday, what's going on today in the market, and some news that you can use as we move into the morning. Hey, what's going on, Liz? Thanks so much for tuning in. Miss Cookie, how are you? Hopefully I'm coming in just fine. Now, make you aware of a couple things that's going on here. We do have, just to let you know, guys, we recently did release our book, and so that book is going to be available for you to pre-order. Now, did you know out of 1,800 billionaires in the world, only 12 of them are Black? Out of 1,800, out of 12 of, I can guarantee 99% of Black Americans or Black people in the world don't know who those 12 are. Well, guess what? That we've written just for you guys. It is called the Black Billionaires Club and how they built their wealth. So we're going to be going through the 12, and we're going to be learning what they did to build their wealth so we know what we can do as well. And here's the deal, guys. At the end of the day, what wealthy people do. If you want to be wealthy, that's exactly what this book is. This book is a study. So hopefully you'll go ahead and pre-order the book. And if you do that by Mother's Day, not only are we going to get the book, but you're going to get the course, the $75 class, How to Buy Stock for Kids. How to buy stock for your book. And then you get the course for success to their. Just go to theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Go ahead and pre-order your book today and get your free class so you can start putting your children in position where we can actually have them start versus starting all over again. And we want to teach our children early what we learn late. So you got the Black Billionaires Club and how they built their wealth. That is now available for billionairesclub.com to go ahead and get your get your book today. It will be released. We're looking to release it July 4th, Independence Day. I'm going to try my best to get it out by Father's Day. I really want to get it out by Father's Day. Hopefully we can get that accomplished. So we're working very diligently to get that thing printed, ready to rock and roll. Now, I also want to make you aware of another opportunity, and that is going to be with Club Millie. If you're watching right now and you are from Club Millie, go hashtag Club Millie. Now, Club Millie is actually a group where we're bringing 1,000 Black folk together to save and invest $1,000. Bringing 1,000 Black folks together to save and invest $1,000. And collectively, that would be $1 million. Our initiatives are to do 4 initiatives, 4 group initiatives, and then you got to become a member in order to have access. And so in order to do that, you got an investment club we're going to be forming. We have the real estate investment group we're going to be forming, peer-to-peer lending, and also venture capitalism. And what that basically means is step 1, we're going to learn how to trust one another with money. We're going to be investing together. Same risk, same reward. Instead of block back, we're going to stop gentrification. We're going to do what everybody else writes movies about. We're going to go out and buy our block back. And number 3, we're going to become our own bank. We're going to lend to one another and be. The book says we should be lenders and not borrowers. Right, to our own people, get out of whatever. And then number 4, to invest in help our small businesses. Everybody put in the comments, little big business. Now, if you're interested in finding out more about Club Millie, you want to join, whatever the case may be, all you got to do is go to www.nbws, New Black Wall Street, www.nbus.us. NewBlackWallStreet.us, and you can find out more about Club Millie. Join us today as we continue to move forward. We're helping 1,000 black folk save and invest $1,000 and that gives us leverage, and that gives us power, and we can walk in any door and make demands. Why? Because we can pay for them. That's right, because we can pay for them. So go ahead and join Club Millie today. I also want to make you aware of not only my book, but we also do have our book of the month, which is Wealth is a Mindset, and that is from Miss Ashina Key, our sister from another mister. She has actually written a book, Wealth is a Mindset. This book is $20, and you can actually get this book by texting the word wealth to 651-2400. That's 678-851-2400. Wealth is a Mindset shares a collection of relatable financial awareness topics, along with tips and tricks to encourage you to think big when it comes to building your empire. So you want to go ahead and get the book, support your sister from another mister, support black-owned business. This is going to be circulating your knowledge at least 3 times in your very own community. You're helping her, and that's just how we do it. We keep the money. Keep this out of Amazon. Keep this money out of Amazon hands. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's just how we do it. And also, you see, hey, is our New Black Ankh Light book, your New Black Wall Street custom bookmark. And so you can get this bookmark. It's only $10. You got your Eye of Horus. You got your red and black beads for your for Africa, and then you got your Ankh on the other side. I know it's gonna pick up, but you got your Ankh Light bookmark. You get that for $10, and basically you get the book, and you can also get the bookmark for $30. And just order us today. You can just basically text the word wealth to 678-851-2400. That's 678-851-2400 out to you ASAP, Rocky. So we made 3 offers to you today, guys. Pre-order the book Black Billionaires Club today. Go to theblackbillionairesclub.com. You can also get the is a Mindset by Miss Shina Key by texting the word wealth to 678-851-2400, or you can also get the bookmark, which is the Ankh Light bookmark, 678-851-2400. This show again, this is the Money and Power Talk Show. Hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll this morning as we move into today's news that you can use. We do have a Myra Key. Let me go ahead and bring her in. She can introduce herself, let them know who you are, what you do, what you got going on. It's Myra in the building.
Good morning. How is everyone doing? I am Myra, the debt elimination coach, and what I do is I help people attack debt. You got to get out of debt. Your family finances need to be operating in the black. So I assist you in identifying your liabilities, identifying your assets. And the name of the game is for your assets to outweigh your liabilities so that your net worth can increase. So if you want to contact me, you can go to my Facebook page, Myra Debt Elimination Coach Key, and inbox me, or you can always text me at 706-399-5845. That's 706-399-5845. Just text the words net worth, and I will get with you, and we can sit down and talk and get you operating in the black.
That's right. You got to go from operating in the red to operating in the black. It seems like what is going on with my camera today? I feel like I'm coming in all fuzzy. What's going on? I got everything looking good and rolling. So the money right into what we need to know. The Myra, the word net worth to 706-399-845. Let's see if I get this thing to change. All right, 399-5845 in order to set up a coaching session so we can help you go from red to black. Now, get right into what we need to talk about today. We'll look at our market recap, look at what happened yesterday and the news that we need as far as what happened yesterday. We got a lot of news to talk about today. Let's just start with the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was up again overnight, now trading at $14.49. So if you remember yesterday when we started, it was at 13 something, and then by the time we went off air, it jumped up to 1,400, and now it's at 14.49, up 6% overnight. And again, Bitcoin is now a $23 billion market cap, trading at 14.49.95. Ethereum is right behind it, which is about 5% all the, but Ethereum's at 76.19. That's another cryptocurrency Now, I was looking at what happened points while the NASDAQ was up 44 points and the S&P 500. It seems to be on the rise. They were up 6%. They're now trading maybe something you want to look at. I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but they used to be a $5, $6 so probably I don't know whether Trump being in office has some good things. I wonder if they changed some things, started making some money. Not quite sure. GoPro's up 3%. Tesla was up 2%. Amazon was up 2.51%. Amazon $149. Hope you got Netflix. Is at one. They were up 2% yesterday, so a pretty good day in the market. Look at dollar has $250 billion in cash. My goodness. Let's take indicators that you need to know as far as yesterday. That's going to be your commodities. Oil is trading at $49.02 per barrel. Gold $12.56 per ounce, and silver at $6. I know there's some people that want to hold physical gold at $6. I don't care. I just want something that's going to bring me wealthy. Bitcoin, again, is at $14.49, so it's overtaking gold and continue to rise. And it's just as scarce, but for those that don't understand. You got to sit in the class and understand Bitcoin before you can make any judgments about it. But if you're on the pipe, I don't know what to tell you. Mara, what's your thoughts? What's going on here with Bitcoin? I mean,
well, we've talked about this before. It's not going anywhere, and it's almost scary in how it is increasing in value. So that tells me that more and more people are using it, and more people are going to start using it. So you got to get in it. You got to first understand how it works and how it operates. I think that's probably why a lot of people are still skeptical about it, because they haven't quite grasp how exactly this virtual currency is working or how you can use it, but the value continues to rise. So we need to figure it out before it goes through that glass ceiling and almost becomes unattainable.
Well, actually, I have this conversation a lot about Bitcoin versus Forex, and I think I kind of broken it down to this, Larry. Forex to me is more of a trader's commodity. If you want to be trading, you want to be making a movement, great place to be for Forex. But Bitcoin to me is an investor's commodity. That's somebody that's going to buy something, let it sit, let it ride, and just cash out later on or sometime in life. So it's very important, I believe, that you need to figure out your philosophy or your strategy as it comes to investing. Are you a Buffett buy and hold type of person, or you're going to be in the market consistently trying to off of price movement, price action, and volume? So those are the things you got to decide. So when we give, I'm not gonna say when we talk, we're always talking from our philosophy, right? And so it's very difficult. That's how I think. But how does everybody think, or how does some different outlooks as to investing is concerned? So one of the first things that you must do if you're going to be an investor is you need to decide or determine what your strategy is when you attack whatever market. Because if you think about real estate, Myra, you have some people who are buy and hold. They buy the house, they live in it, they stay in it forever, they sell it later, right? But then you have some people that are trading. It's the same philosophy, different asset thing that you can do virtually that you can with real, quote unquote, tangible properties. To me, I value what people see in it. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody is different. So everybody has different goals as to what they want to do. Some people want to keep stuff forever. So it depends on what your family situation is and what you're doing it for, whether or not you have kids, you have the next generation waiting for something. So like you talked about real estate, you have some people that get in it, they stay in it for the long haul. They want to become property owners and they want to have rental property. Then you have some people that like wholesaling, and wholesaling is a way that you can get in real estate, make money, but you get in, you walk away from each property without having a mortgage or anything in your name. So everybody is different based on their lifestyle and based on what type of financial goals they have for their family. And quite frankly, everybody kind of has a different temperament for investing and what their risk level is as far as whether or not they want to get something and hold on to it for a while, or they want to pull their money out a lot sooner than that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And so as we continue to look at what's going on in the market today, we do have the emotion that's driving the market. You got two different emotions, guys: fear and greed. We talk about this all the time. Fear, Warren Buffett says that be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Right now, we're sitting at a 49. That means we're right neutral. For me, that means I'm just holding. I'm just looking. I'm just watching. So really not going to be in the market. I like to get in when it's fearful. But nonetheless, you can find opportunities in the market. Now, let's take a look at what's hot and what's not been hot over the past 3 months as far as sectors are concerned. Again, leading the way, what's been hot over the past 3 months is electronic technology, up 11% over the past 3 months. Technology services, which is obviously services, the electronic technology, is up 10% over the past 3 months. Retail trade is up 9.5%. Consumer durables up 9%. So 4 different sectors that if you had just invested in the sector over the past 3 months, you'd be looking at about a 10% return on your investment. Now, here's what's not been hot over the past 3 months. 3 different sectors that's not been hot. The worst of all has been energy minerals, down 6.2% over the past 3 months. This is where I like to live. I think I found a diamond in the rough. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about by this point, I don't know what to tell you, because I can't tell you what to invest in. I just make suggestions and hints all over the time. And also communications has been down 2.76% over the past 3 months. That's going to be where you have your major communication companies or telecom companies like Sprint, Verizon, like that. And then transportation has actually been down as well. Those are going to be companies like FedEx, UPS, that's in the transportation, also probably railroads and things like that. So that's what's been hot and what's not been hot. And again, depending on your strategy, it depends on where you're actually going to be living most of the time as it relates to investing is concerned. But that's our market recap, guys. We talked about Bitcoin, also what happened yesterday in the market. Let's get into some news that you can use today as we look at our pre-market info that you need to know. Our pre-market info that you need to know. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, I want to go ahead and say hello to everybody that's here. Hey, Cookie. Hey, Lily. Hey, Angela. Again, if you're over at any other page, maybe on our my personal page, maybe a New Black Wall Street, maybe you are at Black Enterprise or Atlanta Black Business Network, you want to come on over and interact with us, just come on over to ERGJ Enterprises. Make sure that you like the page and follow the page so you can know when we go live. We try to do this. I do this Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. in the morning, not Friday because that's my day off. But nonetheless, you want to keep joining us and know what's going on and get the news. Get your financial info from Black folk. Then you want to go ahead and make sure that you follow the page as well. Let's take a look at our pre-market info that you need to know. Our pre-market info that you need to know. Apple's pile of cash, it starts with that. Tech behemoth Apple will report its quarterly results after the closing bell Tuesday. So tonight, Apple is reporting their earnings. Investors will be focused on iPhone sales data, while fans will be looking for details on the next version of the phone and hints of new products. One key question will be the size of Apple's growing pile of cash. Apple is likely to report more than $250 billion in cash and investments on its balance sheet for the first time ever. Can you imagine? $250 billion in cash. They don't know what to do with all this money, or maybe they're just trying to protect it offshore. Nonetheless, they got a whole bunch of cash. They can do a whole bunch of stuff. They can make and create whatever they want, research and develop whatever they want, just no matter what they decide to do with all that money. Infosys hiring spree. Indian outsourcing giant Infosys announced Tuesday it will hire 10,000 local workers in the United States over the next 2 years. The announcement follows President Trump's threats to crack down on the H-1B visa program to allow skilled foreigners to work in the United States. Infosys is one of the biggest recipients of H-1B visas. Its U.S. clients include IBM and Lockheed Martin. So if you just happen to be in the market for a job, well, Infosys might be the place you want to go. I think they do a lot of contract work. Outsourcing obviously means that they're vendors for some of these big places to be able to provide them with workers to take care of their business needs. There's a spotlight on healthcare today. Healthcare will also be on the focus on Tuesday with Aetna, CVS Health, and drug giants Merck and Pfizer all reporting today. So healthcare will be a big focus in the report and earnings reports today. So if you happen to be invested in either one of those, might be something you want to look at. Investors will be looking at any comments on future of Obamacare. Congress is currently considering a bill that would repeal and replace the law. So, Myra, share your thoughts as far as this repeal and replacement of Obamacare and how quite possibly the impact that whatever the way they decide to go, will have or could have on some of these healthcare stocks that are being focused today?
Well, but I know some people that have benefited from Obamacare, and I know some people that the cost was too high for Obamacare. It was one of those laws where it was good for some people, and for other people, it wasn't that good. I think if it gets repealed, it's actually going to help some of these other companies, because what I've been seeing about every state seems to be different in what companies are going into each state, as far as what they're offering and what type of cost that they have. So it seems to me that if Obamacare is repealed, we're dangerously getting towards almost a monopoly in healthcare, where it's only a few companies that are going to be in control of everything. And so it's going to be a double-edged sword, because even people that have jobs, healthcare continues to go up. There's more and more money that's coming out of people's checks for their healthcare, but their deductibles are getting higher. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens if they're able to repeal Obamacare, because it doesn't seem like they're replacing it. They're obviously not replacing it with anything that's going to be better than what Obamacare was. So we'll have to see what ends up happening with that. But I think it's going to help the healthcare industry as far as pumping more money into the healthcare industry.
Fantastic, man. And so, for those that don't know, this is not a me show. The Money Power Talk Show is a we show. So if anybody, is feeling a little gippy, you can actually jump into the lobby, join us live on this show as well. Anybody's welcome to join. Just click on that link there and come on into the lobby if you want to be a part of the Money and Power Talk Show this morning. Now, also, this is earnings season, by the way, guys. So there's a lot of earnings that's going on. Today, also, you got ConocoPhillips, Coach, Hilton, MasterCard, all set to release before they open today. Matter of fact, Hilton already reported, I'll report that in just a second, while Denny's and Papa John's plan to release after the close. So you got Apple after the close. You got healthcare today. You got these other companies as well. So this is a big day to be paying attention to the market, especially if any of those companies you represent. Now, one thing you want to know is when you become an investor, you want to start tuning into their investor relations section on their website, where you can actually get in on their calls and hear directly from the CEOs and the executives who run in the company what's happened, but then also what they expect to happen moving forward. So you don't actually have to wait on news to come out. You get the news live right then and there. So that's something for you to know as well, is that you are invited to those calls, because you are part owner of that company and you need to be in the know. Everybody put in the comments below, in the know. You need to be in the know of what you are investing in if you decide to invest in it. So the Federal Open Market Committee begins its two-day meeting on Tuesday. The group will make a decision on interest rates on Wednesday. Investors are widely expecting the Fed to keep rates on hold, but will watch for any hints on how many interest rate hikes the central bankers expect this year. U.S. Commerce Department is set to release its auto sales report for April at 2 p.m. today, and Chinese manufacturing data released Tuesday was weaker than expected, pointing to a slowdown in the sector. And as I mentioned, guys, Apple, Aetna, BP, MasterCard, all earnings today, and the U.S. Federal Reserve begins its two-day meeting. That's the information. That's the big news of today. Now, I did mention Hilton. Hotel operator Hilton Worldwide reported a 25.2% rise in quarterly revenue on Tuesday, as more people booked its rooms at higher prices. Net income attributable to Hilton stockholders was $74 million, or 22 cents per share in the first quarter ending in March 31st. The company reported a net income of $309 million, or 94 cents per share a year earlier. Now, here's the deal. What's interesting is that Hilton, right, it's now getting to the spring and summer. Their prices are rising and people are booking their rooms more. More people are now traveling, right, during this hot season, and they're capitalizing on your travel. So that's just what happened. So about a quarter ago, Hilton came out with earnings that was disappointing, and their stock price actually, settled. It came down. And I said, "Oh, this is Hilton. This is an opportunity." Some people heard it, some people didn't. And then 3 months later, they're back to reporting a 25% rise. So you can expect their stock price to move up a little bit today. And hopefully you were one of the people that got the hint. And you maybe had taken on Hilton when they were beaten down, when other people were fearful, when they thought they was going in the wrong direction. This is what happens in stocks, man. What's going on, Mario? What are your thoughts on the travel season? Gas is probably going up. Oil is going up. Hotels going to be more expensive. I mean, they capitalize when people are going to be moving. They know what to do, and that's raise prices because there's more demand than there is supply.
Well, we're back. We're back with on. Everybody's doing a lot of spending. The housing market is up. People are traveling more. And a few years back, had decreased their traveling, had decreased on spending things on top dollar items. So we have hit a comfort zone, which is great for companies out here that are trying to benefit from our dollar. Because everybody right now, they're comfortable with spending. Either they have disposable income or they're swiping those credit cards. So one of the two, they're spending money. So the companies are going to take advantage of that opportunity when they have people back in a comfort zone of spending. And that seems to be where we're at right now.
Now, real quick, in case you guys don't know, just catching up with us this evening, Bitcoin soars above 1,400 to an all-time high. Bitcoin surged all-time high above 1,400 on Tuesday after more than tripling in value over the past year. Let me say that again. And more than tripling in value over the past year. With its most recent rise attributed to strong demand in Japan, where the digital currency has been deemed a legal means of payment. Now, Myra, I think that Club Millie talked about this and about a month ago, how they were actually making it legal in Japan. And lo and behold, now it's risen again, and we're seeing more ATMs. We're seeing it being a legalized form of payment everywhere. Matter of fact, you can look at Bitcoin and compare it to Apple Pay. You can compare it to all these different, because now you can actually get credit cards which will swipe off your Bitcoin. I don't know if y'all do that. So Crypto Compare, a data website that announces Bitcoin trading across dozens of exchanges globally. Crypto, I gotta write that down. Crypto, we gotta get that website there. What a second. Crypto Compare. Let me put that in the comments below. Crypto Compare. Somebody look that up. See if we can find out what's going on. All right, Crypto Compare, a data website that analyzes Bitcoin trading analyzes Bitcoin trading across dozens of exchanges globally, said around 50% of trading volume over the past 24 hours has been on the Bitcoin Japan Yen exchange rate. Look at that. This is why I say this is like a comparison of Forex. You got a Bitcoin Yen exchange. Do you hear that? That's like a pair. That's just like a Forex pair of Bitcoin and a Yen exchange rate. That's foreign exchange. That's what that is. Okay. Now, wow. All right. The Japanese have recently warmed their approach towards Bitcoin by treating it legally as a form of payment, a ratification, and bringing it into the regulatory fold. China's clampdown on exchanges can also be seen as a positive move for the industry, too. Chinese authorities have increased scrutiny of exchanges this year and have forced them to start charging trading fees after becoming concerned about Bitcoin speculation and its potential use in money laundering. Bitcoin surged as much as 3% on Tuesday on the Europe-based Bitstamp exchange rate. Look at this. Bitstamp. I mean, we just found out. This is what I'm talking about. We learning some stuff today. You're going to learn today. Bitstamp. Where I was at? Bitstamp exchange, where trading is dollar dominated, to hit 1437, its highest since its 2008 launch. That marked a more than 200% increase from its price in early May last year. So in 1 year, over 200%. In the past 6 months, over 100% growth in value for this cryptocurrency that most black folk don't know about. So we got to change. This is what we're going to tell you. So in case you guys don't know, on May 24th is when Club Millie starts their Blacks in Bitcoin campaign. That's right. May 24th. Mark it down. Let me make sure that's the right date. Yes, May 24th is when Club Millie starts their Blacks in Bitcoin campaign. We're going to have the expert, Reggie Milton, up first. He's going to talk to us about what he's doing. And he's a black guy, by the way. And he's got his own company that's all into digital currency. We got him, right? Because they say if you ask, you shall receive. So I didn't have no problem asking. I just went and asked, and he said yes. Okay. We also have some people from overseas in the United Kingdom. coming to speak, United Kingdom or Switzerland, one of the two, coming to speak to us as well. We're also going to have tours or workshops to show you how to get your wallet and how to actually invest in Bitcoin. So the first part is to educate you on Bitcoin. So everybody put in the comments below, educate. The more that you learn, the more that you can earn. Because I don't believe that you should invest in anything that you do not understand. So we must understand it first. And then once we understand it and we feel comfortable with what our understanding, then you can go and say, hey, I'm going to go do what I do, which is whatever you decide to do at that point. But then we'll hold workshops on how to actually get not just Bitcoin, but any type of cryptocurrency that you might be interested in, how to invest in them. So we start with what, we start with the why, and then we get to the how. All right. So everybody that's representing Club Millie, go ahead and put in the comments below Club Millie. Now here's the deal. Here's why we got to talk about this. Because people still don't understand what we're doing at Club Millie. So Club Millie, essentially, it means this. If you join the group, if you become a member, all these classes we talking about, they come with your membership. If you don't join the membership, which many guys just not going to do, then you're going to have to pay to come to the class. It's going to be $30 a pop. So you got to decide. Do I want to just pay $30 a month and get all these classes included? Or do I want to pay $30 every time I want to come and learn how to make my money work harder for me than I work for it? So we got Wednesday, we're going to have Bitcoin. Thursday, we're going to have marijuana sessions. You got to decide whether you want to pay for all that or you just want to pay one monthly membership and join the crew who is serious about changing the status of Black economics in this world. And we doing it, and we're going to keep on doing it. What's going on, Troy? Thanks so much for joining. So just let you guys know, just go to www.nbws.us if you want to find out more about Club Millie, more about what we're doing to change the Black economic world. All right, let's get right back to what we're talking about, Myra. Any thoughts on that? I'm just sorry. I'm leaving you out. What's going on? You got anything to say?
Hey, I agree. Yeah, you got to understand.
Myra, what are your thoughts on Club Millie, Myra? That's what we got to ask you. What are your
The Club Millie is no-brainer. It's not like Club Millie, you are missing out. Because for the investment and the return on investment, I mean, it's out of this world. So if you're not in Club Millie, people, you need to get in Club Millie. If you're having conversations with friends, family, anybody about really obtaining wealth and learning how you can get into the stock market, learning how you can learn about cryptocurrency, just having a group of people that have the same ambition and same goals, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You need to get in Club Millie. It's the cost of going to McDonald's for a couple of people, and then you have access to all these classes every week. And people, a Facebook group that you can ask questions and piggyback off of people and find out information. You got all of these different people out here researching and giving information, posting articles. You need to get in it. You're going to get left behind because in a few years, maybe not even that long, people are going to haven't seen a group like this anywhere that are not just talking about doing stuff, but that are actually doing it and making moves. So you need to get in Club Millie. Do not miss the boat. Don't miss out.
What's going on, Kamari? My brother, I think Philadelphia, Kamari says cryptocurrency here to stay, not sure about Bitcoin. That's fine. We're going to learn about cryptocurrency or digital currency. Obviously, there's a lot of different currencies that are out. In case you guys want to take a look at other ones, you can go to this. I'm going to put this website here for you to look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency world. But yeah, we're going to get into it and learn what we can do in order to get at least understand what's going on over here. Let's not just be blind to watching everybody else get rich. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to watch nobody else get rich no more. I'm done with that part of my life. I'm in the part where I'm looking for ways to get rich, looking for ways to profit, looking for ways to make my money work harder for me than I work for my money. And so you got to free your mind, and the rest will follow, and free yourself. Finance your own freedom by learning what the wealthy people are doing. And that is one of the things is investing. So I don't know what you're going to do about that, but I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up. Now, I did want to bring this article up to speed because now we're getting into the news that you can use. And I thought that this was a very interesting article. It's talking about Nigeria and their currency. It says in Nigeria, it can be hard to know just how much the notes in your wallet are really worth. The official exchange rate for the country's currency, which is the Naira, is around 305 to the dollar. but banks lend to each other at a second rate. The third rate, whoa. All right, I'm confused already. The official rate is 305 to $1, but banks, they lend to each other at a second rate. And then there's a third rate that is used by international money transfer companies. Perhaps the most important is the one found on the black market, currently 380 to the dollar. The result is currency confusion. The central bank even maintains separate rates for religious pilgrims who need dollars for trips to Mecca, Rome, and Jerusalem. The Naira faces problems that extend far beyond the trouble caused by multiple rates, however. Here's a look at the struggling currency. Number one, this is interesting. Who else is talking about this stuff? Oil money. Collapsing oil prices have heaped pressure on the Naira. Now, I do some business in Nigeria. Matter of fact, in case you guys don't know, 6 of the world's richest black folk are in Nigeria, by the way. All right. Anyway, that's just side note. Just get back to the book that you need to buy. Anyway, the country's central bank maintained a peg of roughly 200 against the dollar until June of last year. But then, as dollar reserves ran dry, the government changed tack and devalued the currency. The Naira immediately plunged 30%. Since then, the central bank has intervened to keep the country's official rate from depreciating further. Speculation runs wild on the black market, however. The Naira hit a record low against the dollar to around 520 earlier this year, according to the CEO of currency trading company Ibu Yasser. The exchange rate has since rebounded along with the price of crude. So there's a connection, obviously, to oil, right? Mm-hmm. And this exchange rate for this currency. And I would venture to say maybe some other currencies as well. And so as we look at this whole thing, foreign exchange, right? I think it would be wise if you are into foreign exchange to also be watching oil. Because these Middle East, Nigeria is right there by the Middle East, by the way, ended up at the top of Africa, I think, the northern part of Africa. So Nigeria, Ethiopia, things like that. So they're still connected, they probably used to be part of the Middle East, so we consider them part of the Middle East, even though they're not in Asia. But a lot of oil in that area. And now we start talking about this whole trade war between United States trying to control the price of oil, control the distribution of oil, control the production of oil, right? Versus OPEC and all these other countries that have been the leader in oil for quite some time. So this is a very interesting time, I believe, not just for oil, but now we're seeing a connection to currencies from oil. Myra, your thoughts?
It sounds like a lot of outside manipulation going on because of what a certain country is trying to do when it comes to the oil market. So the United States and Great Britain are never too far behind when you have things going on like that, especially when you're talking about a central bank. So it sounds like a lot of manipulation going on. So, in situations like that, it's somebody with a lot of power behind that because it's just trying to create pure chaos so that people can't function properly in that country. And so, the continent of Africa is rich in resources, always has been, and there's more and more people trying to get over there and manipulate those markets there because you're having a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs with a lot of success coming out of countries. So it's a lot of backdoor manipulation, sounds like to me.
Fantastic. Amari, man, I hope that, I don't know if you're still here now, but hopefully one day you'll be able to join the show, man. Definitely got a seat available for you, brother. Want to come on and share your thoughts on anything that's going on currently as we share the show. Again, it's not a me show, it's a we show. We do make seats available, so it is a talk show that you can actually join in. Oh, hey, we got a guest coming up in the place, my main man. Let me go ahead and pull him in, man, as we keep talking about this Nigeria. But let me bring him in so he can introduce himself. My main man, H. Cortez, is coming into the building this morning. The Money and Power Talk Show. Mr. Cortez, spring in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, ERGJ. How are you doing, Miss Myra? How you guys doing this morning?
Doing well, man. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell people who you are, what you got going on, where they can find you, bro?
Sure. I am H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community. You can find me on my profile, Cortez Springer, financial health mentor on most platforms out there, social media. Really excited about Black Literature Week coming up next week. Got 2 spots left for 2 authors. If you got your books on shelves or in your trunk or whatever, and you need a good place to promote them, then you can inbox me, and I want to slide you into those two spots, man, we're going to have some a funky good time, like James Brown would say, introducing the world to some Black authors and some great stories. So I'm super excited about that.
Fantastic, man. And see, it was you looking at. I want you guys just to take a picture. Like, we're just going to move stuff around for a second, because you got Black folk getting together in the morning to talk about money. You know what I'm saying? You got three coaches. You got the debt elimination coach, you got the financial health mentor, and you got the money solutions coach. I mean, this is just phenomenal. Every time I come here on a Tuesday, I'm like, my goodness, there's so much Black intelligence, Black wealth represented, and we're talking about money. I mean, my goodness, we just gonna get it. That's what's up. But let me get right back. We talked about Nigeria. We talked about the oil money, but then also we talked the dollar shortage. So it says here that let me see. There we go. It says here that the Nigeria is suffering from a major shortage of dollars. Why are dollars needed? Nigeria exports plenty of oil, but it relies on shipments from abroad to source basic household items and food. Nigeria importers need to pay these foreign companies in their home currencies, but dollars and euros are in short supply. That's because anyone with foreign currency is trying to hold on to it. I bet that rates will improve in the future. So think about this for a second. When we think about foreign exchange, a lot of times we think about the forex market, but I'm just talking about literally exchanging and going to use your dollar somewhere else where they value it more than you do. Let me repeat that again. Using your dollar, which a lot of people say is going to be worthless, whatever. It's going down, it's crashing, and not backed by anything, fiat currency, whatever you want to say. But a lot of other people still value the dollar. So why not use your dollar to go and grow by putting it somewhere else that people value it at? So I don't know if that's an ingenious idea or not, but Myra, what are your thoughts about that? Because I just try to tell people, like, if you see something coming, do something about it. Just don't look at stuff. Just go do something about it. What's your thought?
Yeah, take advantage of the situation. It's amazing to me that that country would need to do a lot of importing of goods. And we all know, I think, why that happens. It happens in a lot of countries like that. The United States and other countries go in and they kind of do a lot of pillaging. A lot of the people there that can provide for themselves, they make those items so expensive in-house, so to speak, so they are forced to import those items at a cheaper value. So, it's a lot of countries where the American dollar gets a greater return. So you have to take advantage of it. But once again, we kind of live in a box sometimes, and we don't venture out and understand what our dollar can do for us other places besides here.
Cortez, any thoughts?
Yeah, that's powerful, and yeah, you can say that the fiat currency inflation is causing the value of the dollar to go down, but I think you can still only buy oil worldwide with the dollar, right? So as long as we are an oil dependent world, then the dollar is still always going to have power. And I think that was a lot of the things that some of the other countries were doing. You look at why Gaddafi was taken out and things like that. They were trying to switch that and move the dollar from being the oil standard, right? But as long as you can only buy oil internationally with the dollar, it's always going to have value because we're so heavily dependent on it. And like you said, other nations, man, are just getting their economies going, and they have a high regard for the dollar. And, the United States has positioned itself, however they've positioned themselves in a strong position in a lot of these countries to make the dollar worth something over there.
So is there any wonder why ERGJ is an importer in Africa? Any wonder why I'm using my dollars and I'm transitioning my dollars out into products, right, that I can bring over for pennies on the dollar? Any wonder why I'm doing that? It just could just be coincidence, right? There's no strategy involved, no thought into it, just coincidence that I happen to run across something that's going to actually change my dollar from something that is valued less to value more somewhere else. And you didn't do no research on that, man. And you can do the same thing, guys. So if you think about it, if that is your mindset, that it's crashing, it's falling, and some of you guys, I don't know, you want to go to gold, I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but I'm saying that there's huge opportunity if you can see opportunity. And so it says here in the article again, it says that everyone is forced to rely on the black market. Tourists, for example, will find their hotels eager to exchange dollars for their naira. Now, just think about this. There's type of negotiation going on here. Okay, well, if you want my dollar, how much naira are you going to give me? Because I can use that naira to go and buy a whole bunch of stuff that I could then send back and export myself into America, where I could then sell it to Americans. But once you switch the excess funds back into dollars at checkout, no chance. If you walk into a black bank to exchange dollars or buy dollars, you need to ask for the bank manager. That's why people go to the black market. It's easier. So something's going on in the black market over there. And then also it says that reserves are spent. Crude sales account for up to 70% of government revenue. You hear that? Crude sales, oil. 70% of the government revenue and more than 90% of the country's export earnings. Huge dollars in oil. And when the price of oil goes down, that impacts their revenue. Oil is also the source of most of the country's foreign exchange reserves. Before the crash in oil prices, Nigeria had nearly 43 billion in reserves. By 2016, efforts by the central bank to support the naira had pushed the figure to below 27 billion. Central bank said in mid-2016 that it would allow the naira to trade freely. But currency traders report the bank has continued to intervene in the market. No wonder. Do you know why the bank intervenes? Because it's a central bank. See, this is why Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is so powerful, because it's not bound by a central bank. Woo. All right, Cortez, go ahead, brother.
That's it, man. And like you said, we have, and you say it all the time, man. We have an idea problem, and we have a vision problem. And I'm not talking about seeing yourself in the future, and I'm not talking about your physical sight. We can't see opportunity when it's staring us in the face. And when you can't see an opportunity, you can't seize an opportunity. So that's where we struggle a lot of times, is in our inability to see opportunities. We know a lot about wholesale and retail and that kind of stuff, because it happens to us all the time, but we never look at it in the fact that you could actually wholesale dollars, right? And other people who will retail them, but then you can gain a lot. And that's just
you got to repeat that again, because I don't know if that stuck. You're going to wholesale what?
Dollars, man. Dollars, right? Dollars. So we have a sight or a vision problem, and we just can't see opportunities. And then if you can vision yourself being wealthy in the future and you have this sight problem, I tell you, you will never get that wealth in the future, because in order to do so, you've got to see opportunities that will get you to be wealthy in the future.
Mario, your thoughts?
Now, our sight problem is the media does a very good job of keeping us blinded. If we get from in front of this television and all of this other stuff, we can see what's going on around us. But it is a calculated effort to keep us blinded, to keep us entertained with foolishness, so that we are not paying attention to what's going on around us. And we've got to stop that, because the money is just floating by, and we're not paying attention. So we got to pay attention. We got to pay attention to what's going on, because see, somebody always has. But I told somebody the other day, companies always have a budget for getting your money. Companies always have you on their sales calendar. Exactly who do you have on your sales calendar for obtaining dollars from them? So you got to realize that's what the consumer market is all about. They're waiting for payday, and they already have a sale coming out, a television commercial out on TV, something going across your phone, because you are on their sales calendar. Your payday is. But we don't have anybody on our sales calendar when it's time to get resources and revenue from other people, and we got to change that.
Yeah, man, all the money you ever need already exists. It's just in somebody else's pocket.
Yep.
All the money you ever need already exists. It's just in somebody else's pocket. What are you doing to get them to give it to you or exchange it to you for value? Excellent point, Myra. Excellent point.
Man, that's some good stuff right there, man. It's wow. Everybody put in the comments below sales calendar. Who is on your sales calendar, right? That's good stuff, man. Now, one of the Saudis have taken 100% control of America's largest oil refinery. Saudi Arabia is taking control of America's largest oil refinery. It's now fully owned by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Aramco, the kingdom state's-owned oil behemoth, took 100% control of the sprawling Port Arthur refinery in Texas on Monday, completing a deal that was first announced last year. Port Arthur, is that a Rick Ross song? He talks about Port Arthur. Port Arthur is considered the crown jewel of the U.S. refinery system. Look at this. This is going to get interesting. The Gulf Coast facility can process 600,000 barrels of oil per day, making it the largest refinery in North America. Aramco previously owned 50% of Port Arthur through a joint venture co-owned with Royal Dutch Shell called Motiva Enterprises. So look at how these companies structure stuff. There was a strategic partnership co-owned with Shell, and they called it Motiva Enterprises. So that was the blanket name, and it was owned by Aramco and Dutch Shell. They created another entity to house their mutual interest in Port Arthur. But the two oil giants had a rocky relationship. You know how that go, right? We don't see things eye to eye. We 50-50. They had a bad marriage. But the two oil giants had a rocky relationship and reached a deal in March 2000. Where am I at? How did I get down here? Anyway, I think Cortez had to leave. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so Myra, what are your? This is crazy. I think Cortez had to get ready for a show. I was gonna give him an exit, but I guess he had to go, or maybe he kicked him out. Did it just kick us out?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Wow. Anyway, so what are your thoughts here on what's going on here with? This is interesting. Port Arthur. You might want to put that in the comments below. Port Arthur, largest refinery, is controlled by Saudi Arabia in America, in Texas. What's your thoughts on that, Myra?
I don't think it's a mistake. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't just happen haphazardly. Look, these governments, they're coordinating and working together. There's obviously something coming down the pipeline, and it's called war. And it may not be on the level of what happened, a few years ago, but it's happening. And so when you have Saudi Arabia coming to the United States, and in fact, I mean, it's a lot of different industries where foreign companies own a lot of things that are going on in this country. So it's not surprising to me at all. I think that, the United States government, they may have done it under a different name and use shell names or what have you, but behind closed doors, once again, the people in the know are going to make a lot of money off of this deal. And so that, that's the United States intent, is to go to the Middle East and kind of anybody that's uncooperative, we're going to make it so that you are forced to cooperate with what we're trying to do. So Saudi Arabia has always had a lot of influence, and it will continue to have a lot of influence because of the riches that part of the world has.
Absolutely. And then our last section here, we talk about the news that you can use. This is pretty interesting as well. Elite colleges can now afford to enroll more low-income students. Elite colleges, this is going to be an interesting conversation. I don't know how much time we got, can afford to enroll more low-income students. So America's top colleges are filled with rich kids. The class divide is deeper than you might have thought. Ivy League colleges, for example, have more students from the top 1% of income than the bottom half. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of low-income students would qualify to enroll in elite college but are attending a less selective institution instead, according to Georgetown University. These students scored above the median on SATs or ACT among all students at selective institutions. The report defines low-income students as those who receive Pell Grants from the federal government. The grants are mostly awarded to those families who earn less than $30,000 a year. Where you go to college can make a big difference. Students at top colleges are much more likely to graduate regardless of their family income, and despite the cost of getting a degree, those who do will earn more over their lifetime. The report calls on colleges to enroll more low-income students so that they can make up at least 20% of the student body. Most colleges already do this, but there are 346 that fall short. To meet the 20% threshold, they will have to enroll 72,000 more Pell Grant recipients. That shouldn't be a problem since there are 86,000 who will qualify, according to the report. But it would cost the schools more money because they have to offer bigger financial aid awards so that these students could afford to enroll. They'd either have to enroll more students in general or replace students who would pay closer to the full tuition cost. This is interesting stuff. I know this is right up your wheelhouse. Almost half those institutions that currently fall short of the 20% threshold are considered most highly or very competitive. Many of these, let me stop right here. So if there's supposed to be a threshold of 20%, Myra, and some of these colleges are not meeting that threshold, I don't hear nothing about a penalty. Where the hell is the penalty? Where's the fine? I mean, they supposed to be getting fined. Am I right? I mean, you got a threshold. This is what you're supposed to do, and you not doing it. I didn't hear nothing about a fine.
No, it's not going to be a fine. These colleges have always been able to do this because those type of schools have endowments that are just ridiculous. The amount of endowment money they have is crazy. But this has been going on for a long time. At a lot of the top level colleges, and I tell students this a lot, and parents, they actually will give more money to families that can afford it than they will low-income families. But see, this is the caveat in why it's been so difficult for them to attract and retain low-income students. And this is what a lot of people don't talk about. It's not the test scores. We have a lot of low-income students that can obtain test scores because what you will find, a lot of these upper-class kids, they don't necessarily have stellar grades and test scores either, but when someone can just write a blanket check, then, or you have, a lot of them have alumni connections where someone in the family has already gone to that university and they almost a shoe-in. But the part that people are not talking about is the retention rate as far as low-income students going to these type of schools. It's not that they cannot perform academically, but there is a social disconnect because when they get to these campuses, they are now surrounded by a culture that they've never been surrounded by. And then also there are incidental costs that are not covered. So yes, their tuition may be covered. Yes, their room and board may be covered. But then you have some students where buying books, getting your toiletries, being able to travel back and forth from home, if you're far away from home, the cultural differences are a lot of times barriers that are not taken into consideration because they don't necessarily have a support system. And quite frankly, when they get on these colleges, some of the professors still have of them not being able to perform at a certain level. So the discrimination can be so much and can weigh on them so much till it's a lot of psychological things that happen. So I know a lot of students, low-income students, that could get into these schools, and they do get in, but when they get there, it is not what has been presented to them because the schools will court them, but they don't feel like they have a lot of support once they get on those college campuses because there's not a lot of people that look like them. It's not a lot of people that have grown up in the situations they have grown up, and they don't necessarily have the disposable income that a lot of these other students have. So it's still a lot that needs to be discussed on that as far as these schools giving supposedly these full rides. But when you look at these packages, sometimes they're not necessarily full rides because they will give you tuition and fees, but they may not cover your room and board. So when then the student gets, they still may have to take out some student loans. So you have to be real careful. It sounds good on the front end, but it's a lot on the back end that's not talked about.
Man, and so real quick, it says a group of nation's top colleges made a priority to enroll more qualified low-income students. They formed an American Talent Initiative, which now has 68 members. Presidents at those colleges have pledged to change the recruitment strategy, expand need-based aid programs, and offer support services to make sure these students graduate on time. We'll see what that happens. But I did put the link in the comments below, AmericanTalentInitiative.org. Says American Talent Initiative grows from 30 to 68 colleges and universities dedicated to expanding access and opportunity for lower income students. See a complete list of the members on the We Are page. Let me see who we are. Let me find out who these people are. Who we are. So let's see if we can find out. All right. All right. Let me see. Davidson. Okay. Cornell, Duke, Georgia Tech, Harvard, Johns Hopkins, Marist, Rutgers, Rice, Princeton, Ohio State, Stanford, UCLA, Michigan, University of Miami, South Carolina, Texas. Let me see Vanderbilt, Wesleyan, Wake Forest, Yale, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. So, Fordham. So it's worth at least looking into, at least having this organization website. If you have somebody that's in high school, they're getting ready to graduate or getting close to graduation, to know that this is a resource that could be available. That could, if you're the college type of person or the college type of thought process, that's debatable, but depending on what you're going to school for, this could put you into a place of exclusivity. I mean, hopefully you want to put your children in a position where they have leverage, and the schools that they choose does put them in a position of leverage, just like the jobs that they choose puts them in a position of leverage. I know because of the jobs that I chose growing up, it put me in a position of leverage. When people look at my resume and they see Coca-Cola or they see Quick Trip or they see Chick-fil-A, that's a whole different conversation than, Walmart. Okay, let's just keep it real. So it's a whole different conversation with the school. When you say, hey, I got a 3.0 at Georgia Perimeter versus I got a 3.0 at Georgia Tech. It is a difference. So if you are the college pusher and your child is going to something that's reputable, whether it be a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever, I mean, it's there. Now, here's the deal, Myra, and we're going to end up right here, is that there are resources available. I think that's the most important thing to make sure that Black folk know, that there are resources available. But the thing is, you got to do what the good book tell you to do. Seek and you will find.
Yeah.
Not beg and you'll get, but seek and you'll find. Myra, go ahead.
This initiative, this group has been around for a while. I've been to their presentations, because what they do is they travel together. The admissions officers from these schools, they travel as a group around the country to different cities. And so what they will do is they will have sessions for high school counselors to attend, and then they will have nightly sessions for parents and students to attend. So it's been going on for a while. I've added, of course, more schools. But what I find is we need to go to the sessions. We need to go to the parent sessions. We need to go to nightly sessions, because when I've gone to these sessions before, I don't see a lot of people that look like me. I'm usually maybe the only one in the room, or maybe only one or two other people in the room. So we got to get to the session. We got to start listening to what they have to say. There's another group of schools that our students need to start looking at, and those are the military academies. That's another group that is doing the same thing. The Naval Academy, Coast Guard, the Air Force Academy in Colorado. Their push for the last few years, they're looking for minority students to accept. And you know, you could have your however you feel about the military, but when you're graduating from a military institution like that, I mean, you're going to become a commissioned officer. You know, what I always tell, you know, students that want to go that route is at least the commissioned officer is the one making the plans, not necessarily the one carrying them out. So those are all opportunities for our students, but we need to be, when we are made aware of them, we need to take advantage of them. We need to be there in the room and be able to be a part of the conversation.
Oh, you mean like showing up to the Parent-Teacher Association conference? All right, Myra. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. Again, Myra, thanks so much for joining. Tell people who you are, what you got going on, where they can find you as you look to wrap up the Money and Power Talk Show.
Yes, good morning, Myra, Debt Elimination Coach Key, and I assist you in attacking your debt, identifying your liabilities, your assets, getting your family financing operating in the black. Text net worth to 706-399-5845 so we can get you operating in the black. You can start building your reserves, building your finances, taking the pressure off of you by getting out of debt so that you can help the next generation.
Fantastic, man. Again, you want to make sure that you text the word net worth to 706-399-5845. And of course, we do have Club Millie. Myra is a part of Club Millie as well, where you can actually join that exclusive group where we're looking to help 1,000 black folks save and invest $1,000 this year. Just go to www.nbws.us, New Black Wall Street, nbws.us, to find out more about Club Millie. And then also my book, I just written, it's on pre-order right now. It's the 12 Black Billionaires and How They Built Their Wealth. So you want to get that book, you can go over to theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Go ahead and order your book. And when you order the book, you're going to get the course, the $75 class for free on how to buy stock for your kids. And so you want to go ahead and get that so you can teach and you can learn, and you can also teach about the black billionaires of today. Out of 1,800 billionaires in the world, only 12 of them are black. And I think it's important that we know who they are. Well, guys, this is ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, founder of the New Black Wall Street and the Money and Power Talk Show. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. And make sure that you go out and remember this, that it takes a village, but it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. Have a terrific terrific Tuesday.
Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you reach the end roll. We'll see you all there in the next episode of the New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.